Ohio State's got a spring game on Saturday. It will be an actual game inside of Ohio Stadium at noon. It's also on Big Ten Network if you can't make it today. I'm Steven. That's Stefan. That's Andrew. We'll be in the building looking at some guys that we think are intriguing. There's not a lot of names that are just solidified guys, so there's maybe more guys to choose from on the defensive side. Stefan, I'll let you go first here. Who you picking?
I'm going with CJ Hicks.
Shocker. Wow.
Well, I think the shocker is I didn't pick Arvell Reese because I thought about picking
him. Yeah, I wouldn't tell you to pick somebody else. We know he's solidified at this point.
I'm excited to see CJ just because he's finally in that role that I think we all believed he belongs, right? Like we could see throughout last season that he was more of an edge rusher than kind of a traditional linebacker. Matt Patricia and the staff have really leaned into that, and we're seeing him there now. And let's see it on display. It's a little tough because, like we mentioned in the last video about the offense, the quarterbacks aren't going to be live, so CJ Hicks isn't going to be unleashed going after these quarterbacks. But we can see him go, one-on-one with these offensive tackles. It's going to be a good test for the offensive tackles as well. But it's going to be fun to watch CJ Hicks and see him kind of mold himself into this role where we think he fits best, as they kind of prepare for the regular season and for playing Texas, because I think he's going to have a massive role on this team, man. You can't go a press conference where the defensive line is mentioned and someone doesn't bring up CJ Hicks. I think, Ryan Day used CJ Hicks as the example of, you come to Ohio State to get tested as an offensive tackle because you go against guys like CJ Hicks. That was the first name out of his mouth. Matt Patricia talks about him so often. Larry Johnson has had such high praise for him. So I just want to see it in a game format or as close to it as possible, because I think it's just going to continue to build the excitement that we all have for what he can do. So I'm excited to see CJ Hicks. I think we'll see glimpses of what, how good he can be in that defensive end role. And if you're not excited about CJ Hicks, then I don't know what to tell you.
I think the hype train from the general public is either going to fully take off after Saturday, if he has the type of day that maybe Jack Sawyer had in 2021 as a true freshman, we've seen other defensive linemen have, or we're going to get a lot of people telling us to please stop telling us about CJ Hicks. That's what's going to happen on Saturday. For better or for worse, I just think that's what's going to happen on Saturday. Andrew, who do you want to see?
I want to see Aaron Scott. And the reason I want to see him is because there are certain guys on this defense, like Stefan was, joking, I didn't pick Arvell Reese. I don't really care to see Arvell Reese on Saturday. You know why? Because he's awesome. And yeah,
he's going to be seeing him every Saturday in the fall.
Yeah, I'm going to be seeing him be awesome every Saturday in the fall. And yeah, watching good football is fun. But for us, the spring game is about seeing various things. Who can step up into a role? Who can take a leap? I know Arvell Reese is going to take a leap. I know Arvell Reese is good. So there are certain guys that you kind of look at, Davis Igbinosun, okay, well, can he get rid of the holding penalties? That's not really all that interesting. That's something you're going to have to talk about in August and September and October. There are certain conversations you're going to have to wait for. We do not have to wait for Aaron Scott versus Devin Sanchez, I think, for this third cornerback role, because the way that Matt Patricia today talked about Jermaine Matthews and his versatility and playing in the slot and playing outside and how talented he is, that to me kind of spoke volumes. I think that is probably going to be Ohio State's slot cornerback to start the season if I had to bet on it right now. So then basically you're saying, okay, who's on the other side? You got Davis Igbinosun. Who's on the other side? And I think everybody has wanted to talk about Devin Sanchez for good reason, because this kid shows up and we all went, oh, okay, that's what they look like. That's what first-round cornerbacks look like. That is 100% the prototype. You see him play and you're like, yeah, I see it. But Aaron Scott looks really good too. And I think Aaron Scott, he's letting people know he was also a 5-star corner. When we were in this past Saturday for the scrimmage, I thought he looked really good. Aaron Scott is a guy who I think has kind of been forgotten on this defense because of how good this cornerback room is. And I want to see if this continues, because we will have seen a few practices. And if Aaron Scott plays well on Saturday, especially if he plays their third best corner, you're going to look at him and go, you know what? He just might be in that top 3. And yeah, Devin Sanchez might be awesome, but Aaron Scott might just be better than him right now.
I wrote this cleveland.com/OSU for the site on Monday, this idea of, I think him and Mylan Graham at wide receiver are very similar, because they're on normal wide receiver trajectories. Your first year here, you're learning in the background. Your second year here, you're competing for playing time. The problem is they are in a position room where there are 5-stars who are not on normal 5-star trajectories. Jeremiah Smith's the best player in college football after 12 months. Devin Sanchez, we're like, hey, man, is this guy going to start? Hey, man, is he one of the best cornerbacks on the road? Like, they're in different conversations than most 5-stars. So I'm with you. I want to see Aaron Scott on Saturday. I don't think he's forgotten. It's just he's in a room with a guy who is not living in the reality of what normal trajectory of college freshmen are, regardless of your stars. Well, Aaron Scott is, and he's expected to have a role this year. I want to take two groups because I have the mic in my hand. But more importantly, just as I think these two groups are very vital to what I think this defense might be. Ryan Day talked about he's seen flashes from the defensive tackles, but he hasn't seen the consistency they need for them to have the type of production that defensive tackle unit has had for the last couple of years here. Tyreek Williams, Ty Hamilton, Mike Hall in 2023. They're not having that right now. It feels like it's Edric Houston and Caden McDonald and a bunch of question marks. And it shouldn't be. Tywan Malone is in his third year at Ohio State. Jason Moore is in his third year at Ohio State. Will Smith seems to be coming along, but nobody has come along in the way to where in a defense, at defensive tackle, you need depth. They don't seem to have that depth right now. And it feels very obvious that they're going to go into the transfer portal. And this week, between Tuesday's practice, which is the last hardcore practice of the spring, they're going to be in Spiders on Friday. And Saturday, somebody needs to show something that makes them feel comfortable that, okay, at least we have three. And then at safety, because Matt Patricia, anytime you say the words Caleb Downs, his face lights up like a lightning bolt. It's hilarious. I think he wants to do everything under the sun with Caleb Downs, but some of that is going to depend on what the rest of the safety room looks like. I heard good things. We heard good things about Jalen McClain and Malik Hartford and even Leroy Roker from Ryan Day and from Matt Patricia on Monday when we talked with everybody. I think we saw good things from them, and they're getting a lot of work if Caleb's not doing much. I just want to see him flash. I want to see him do things to where, okay, safety is fine. Let's do X, Y, Z with Caleb Downs all fall. So that's what I want to see. Defensive tackle depth and those safeties continue to progress the way that they're progressing. Again, we're doing a draft. They picked some players. Get the text, 614-350-3315. If they don't pick those players, you get to yell at them for 2 weeks for free. And then it's $3.99 after that. Ohio State plays in its spring game on Saturday in Ohio Stadium at noon. It's also on Big Ten Network. I'm Steven, that's Stefan, and that's Andrew. See you later.